mula kau dapat kami ulumi. Buruk kaya kapag
Don't yell, please. One.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Tigerbelly. I'm your captain, Bob, and we've got Khalyla, everyone in the room. We have this cast of characters. We've got Gilbert, George. We also have got little Rudy here. I apologize for my attitude earlier, Rude. We weren't even going to do a podcast today because of what's going on our planet, and especially in this country. It's very volatile out there. It's polarizing. You know, I'm a lighthearted, goofy, silly comedian who says outlandish things to get a response. You know, I don't have a college education, but what I do have is, you know, I look at the world around me. I absorb information like other people do. You know, I see the George Floyd, the video, right? I look at it and I absorb it and I go, okay, that was so fucked up, right? That was right there, plain and simple, murder on camera. And, you know, I also watch things, you know, documentaries, and, you know, I talk to my friends of all colors, and I assess situations, and I come to my own opinions about things, you know, and, you know, I have another podcast called Bad Friends. We released it. I get a lot of crazy comments about how wrong I am or how uneducated Bobby Lee is. And, you know, there are parts of me that go, yeah, I am uneducated.
I agree.
But I agree. But there are parts of me that go, no, you know, I'm entitled to have my own opinion. I'm sorry that a simpleton like me.
Yeah, and we're all simpletons.
I know,
here.
but let me just express this. Yeah, right. I apologize that a simpleton like me sees that video of George Floyd being murdered on camera, and a simpleton like me looks at something like that and says, "Okay, let's suppose I was in the same situation. Probably not George Floyd because he was a big dude, but let's suppose it was a black dwarf. I may be able to take one of those down, right? And I had my neck on his knee, and I was killing him while being taped, right? Would I get third-degree murder?
No.
No, Gilbert, would I get third degree? Would I be arrested immediately?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so a simpleton like me sees something like that and goes, oh, obviously that's wrong. Obviously getting fired is not enough, because that was the initial response, right, of them firing the four. Was it 4 or the 2? I don't remember.
It's total 4, I
It's
believe.
4 total.
They fired 4, all right? And then people have the gall to go, why are people angry? Right? The response that's going on in the country, right, isn't some random event. And also, here's another simpleton idea.
That's my simpleton idea.
Yeah, I have a simpleton idea. I have another simpleton idea.
This is our segment
For the
called
dum-dums.
This is Simpleton segment.
Simpleton segment, all right?
Simpleton
Right.
speaking.
Yes.
Right, we lived through Tamir Rice, Trayvon Martin, Eric Gardner,
Philando Castillo.
yeah, Ahmaud Arbery, right?
Ahmad.
We lived through these events that happen, right? And as a simpleton, right, when George Floyd, we saw that video, something happened where we all went, that's it. The human soul can only take so much. The human mind, right? Emotions. We're talking about emotions, right? As well. We can only take so much, right? It broke. That watching that video just went, and something broke inside us, right? And I'm sorry, okay? We're human beings, and you know, when we see that constantly, people, Ahmaud Arbery, 2 months, these white people are able to just live their lives. Nothing really happened, right? If it wasn't caught on camera, it would have just gone away, right? That's another element of all this stuff. And again, you know, goofy fat Asian comedian here who doesn't know much, didn't have a college education, right? But I do see things, and you know, and I watch. I try to immerse myself in documentaries, and you know, I Am Not Your Negro, the James Baldwin documentary. I've seen that 10 times, and I do attempt to learn
But you
and
should-
attempt to go through what.
Yeah, go ahead. Finish your thought.
And I do attempt to open up my mind and my horizons and to put myself in other people's shoes, right? I don't have a problem with cops, you know? I have a problem with bad cops. That's the thing. It's like, you know, I people comment like, well, police officers are, you know, they're protective of us from society. And, you know, it's like, I know that, right? But you know what? There are bad cops out there. That's who I have the problem with. I'm not. I have to say this, and this is going to be a very sensitive issue. Is as a comic, you know, I struggle with where the line is in terms of race, because you know, a lot of my act has racism, not racism in it, but has race in them.
You don't have a racist. You don't have
No,
a
no,
racist.
yeah, it
act.
has race in them.
in it. Yeah.
I talk about race,
Midnight
right?
Show.
When I'm around, you know, like when I walk into a room, right, and one of my white comedian friends goes, na 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 na, when I walk into a room, right?
I'm even laughing at it.
Right, and I always laugh, right? And then like, you know, I was playing Warzone with Eric Griffin maybe a week ago, right?
What's up?
And what's that, Warzone? And you know, Eric goes, "Hey, don't go inside that dark tunnel." I go, "You mean your mom's vagina?" Right?
Yeah.
When you make
But that's a
jokes like
mom
that,
joke.
That's
I
a
know.
Yo Mama joke. That's a Yo
All
Mama joke.
I
vaginas
know.
are dark tunnels.
Right, but then
And
I
there's
don't
a
think
fact.
mine
There's a
is like
fact.
lit or anything.
I know.
Khalyla's has Christmas lights. It's crazy.
yeah. So, you know, amongst my comedian friends, there's always going to be, you know, a tint of race involved in our comedy, and I enjoy it. I do. I enjoy getting kind of ripped apart a little bit when it comes to the way I look. You know, I love self-deprecation humor, right? I do. Look at my first 10 minutes of comedy. You know what I mean? My opening act is, I talk about my body and
Yeah.
how big my head is or whatnot.
It's
you
the
know,
opposite of therapy. Yeah.
it's the opposite of therapy,
Therapy, yeah.
you know? So, you know, where is the line as a comedian? I don't know right now, right? But I am still very sensitive to the fact that for 400 years, a group of people in this country has had an American experience that I'm not really fully aware of because I don't walk in their shoes. Don't give me those eyes.
No, I'm just ready for it.
No, when astronauts talk about their experience
Okay.
walking on the moon or what it's like to be floating in space, and they can describe in every detail, right, what that's like. And we can kind of get there, right? But we'll never exactly know what it feels
Well,
like.
now you can because SpaceX launched the rocket, and now
Oh, that's
down the road,
I know.
like
It's
even
from a-
that's more plausible than having the
It's
ability
true,
to
actually,
understand
true.
black hole. Like,
Yeah.
that's
But you understand my analogy there, no?
I get it.
Or-
I get it. Yeah.
I get
Thank
it,
you,
but
Gilbert.
Yes. I get it.
Warzone forever, you and I. Yeah. And I think I'm at a point too where why do I don't say certain things and I don't express myself in a certain way because obviously this country is very polarized and I don't like debating with people online, right? I don't like crazy comments toward me when they don't know who really I am. You know, they know the Bobby Lee entertainment version of me, but you don't really know exactly who I am and how I feel and how I behave day to day, right? But I think there is now a push for me to express myself in certain ways, even politically, I mean, I look at someone like Michael Rappaport, and there is a freedom. I love Michael, by the way. You guys know him? He's a good
Yes.
dude. Really nice guy, very funny, great actor. But Rappaport goes on these tangents, right? And you can see he's getting it out there. And he, quite frankly, it seems like he doesn't really care what people's response is to his rants and whatnot, right? And there's a part of me that's very envious of him. Why don't I do that? Right? And it's because I guess I'm afraid of I want people to like me.
And that's been
And
my
it's
problem too.
Yeah, I want people to like me. I want the right to like me. I want the left to like me. But obviously, you know where I stand. I had called Santino about some of the comments I was getting on the Bad Friends feed, right? Bobby's dumb. He's uneducated. All this and this and this and this and this and this. Yeah, you're right. I want to learn what words actually mean. Hear me out, all right? I think that I wasn't paying attention in school, but like even a word like great, I don't know what it means. Do you?
If I had to define it, I don't know if I could actually say the sentence.
Right, because we have over 100,000 people dead from this virus, right? The cities are burning, okay? We almost have a depression level economy. But America is great from our president. What does great mean? Is it great now? Because if it's great now, I don't know what the fucking word means. We're better off? I'm asking you, Gilbert, do you think we're better off?
From what I saw this past weekend, I'm not too sure about that word.
Yeah. I'm going to have to go back to school and learn these words again because I don't know what they mean. We're in a situation where we don't know who to fucking pick.
Yeah.
Right?
It's unfortunate in our system that we have to pick between two people.
That's what Khalyla was saying. We need an 8-party system. I want to live in the world where the Star Trek universe lives in.
Taiwan.
What is the political? Wait, what is the political?
So in the Star Trek universe,
yeah,
right,
what is the political landscape?
there's no such thing as money, right?
What is currency?
There is no currency. Everyone has woke. They have these replicators or whatever. You can just
Oh, I guess it's not real.
yeah. So you can get a steak by using these replicators. So I want Morton steak, medium rare, T-bone, and it comes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I want some Romulan ale,
Yeah.
right? It's illegal, by the way. But
Whoa,
they live to learn, to explore, right, and to grow, spiritually, emotionally, and all that kind of stuff, right? And so that unites the planet, right? And space exploration is their thing. And obviously, that's what the show is about, right? The foundation of how we live our lives in America, right, cannot be religion. It used to be religion. That used to be our God, right? Now it's capitalism, right? It has to be more internal, right? About growing, learning, helping others, right? You look at any the happiest person in the world, right, is the person that is giving back, right? That's the whole premise of 12-step groups is to, help another alcoholic is what they say, And for some reason, when you call a newcomer in an AA meeting, right, and ask them, there's a comic, I'm not going to say his name, but there's a comedian who he's new in sobriety, right? He has I think 3 or 4 months now, and he had a 90-day chip, and because of the pandemic, he can't go to a meeting and get one, right? So our friend told a bunch of guys to meet this kid at a park, and to give him a chip. So all these men that don't even know this kid, right, went from all over LA, went to this park and put a chip on a bench, right?
Wow.
And then this kid went and sterilized everything and grabbed the chips, and it meant so much to him, right? That little act, right? I'm sorry, but that kind of gesture has to be the foundation in which we live in this country. Also, these small businesses, right?
So sad.
It's so fucking sad, right?
So
They have nothing to do with anything, my friend. These are people that, especially from the pandemic, right,
my God,
are barely surviving. Especially these stores on Melrose in LA and Fairfax, right? These small little mom and pop stores that are being being looted, right? Now they're going under forever. It's terrible, right? So the looting, if you're gonna loot, if you're that kind of person, you're gonna do what you're gonna do, right?
I like the girl who came out with a whole cheesecake. Like she's
that
the
was
only one that I could
hilarious.
get on board with. Like that's the only looting.
Walked out
I
so
was
calmly
like-
too.
She was like, you know what? I'm happy with this.
I'm gonna take a whole cheesecake. This is 3,000 calories.
Oh,
Yeah.
here's another person that I just, and I know this has been out for a week, but I just discovered this woman, Amy Cooper.
She's the best. What a wonderful woman, huh?
What a great lady.
What a Andrew Santino,
Who's this?
huh?
Who's this?
Same kind of person.
Yeah.
You got to tell me who Amy Cooper is.
You know who Amy Cooper is?
You don't.
Ooh.
You do know what? I don't think you do, Gilbert. Who's Amy Cooper?
It's the lady walking around in a bird watching area and then called the cops.
Oh, that one. Okay. I didn't know the name.
What's the guy's name?
I forgot his name.
Christian Cooper. They have the same last name.
Is it really the same? Are they married?
I don't know. But
My wife
love
is
how-
calling the cops on me.
It's a media stunt. It's a media stunt.
yeah.
That's
You-
so
you think
fucking
it's a bit-
funny.
Yeah.
Do you
I
know
mean,
what's
that-
crazy? Crazy
ahead,
about that?
Gil.
I heard some other opposition to it from women. It's so weird how all these different groups eat each other. Where it was like some feminist groups were saying like, you don't know that like I've been followed by someone and I feel like I was gonna get raped and I have been raped. And I was like, oh my God, like the video is not that at all.
He
But
had
it-
binoculars and a
it's-
scarf.
It's her fucking rhetoric,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
He obviously is not violent or being aggressive in any kind of way. And her fucking phone call is an African American is being very aggressive
no,
toward
that's
me.
not what she said. I'm here in the park, and there's an African American man I feel threatened.
So, yeah,
and he's
threatened.
screaming at me.
Yeah,
That's
threatened.
Amy Cooper.
And he's
Right.
like, I just told her to put a leash on her dog.
Yeah, and he's bird watching with his binoculars.
A black man bird watching. Come on.
Yeah, okay.
That's George. That's George Kimball, basically.
But that rhetoric, right? No, cut to
Wait, and isn't he a gay man?
gay man.
Probably.
Cut to right. Cut to the clerk, right? Okay, so what now? Follow that through.
Okay.
Let's say the cops they take it seriously.
Yeah.
A black man, right, is being threatening to a white lady, right? They show up. Now, granted, Christian Cooper is taping this whole event, right?
Good job.
But we know from the past that sometimes they don't ask questions.
They react.
Cops react, right? So what ends up? They tackle, this poor Christian Cooper, birdwatcher, Harvard grad, right? Put their knee on his neck. He dies, right? That kind of rhetoric, it's not even real. She lies on fucking the phone call. Imagine it happened. That shit happens all the fucking time. You know it does. Exaggerations, right? It's a black man. He's threatening me. Meanwhile, a guy's just jogging, right? And then the response is that. So that lady, Amy Cooper, she's like, "Oh, I lost my job. Oh my God, I'm not a racist, bitch. You fucked up, right?"
She lost her dog too because she was choking the
lost her
shit out
dog.
of it.
Put a leash on your dog next time,
I was probably 12, 11. I went golfing with my dad once. I didn't golf. I just watched him. Yeah, I was in the little caddy. And these two black gentlemen were golfing ahead of my father. I don't know what happened, but it got to the point where my dad said, "Gamdungi."
What's that?
I think it's the N-word in Korean. And he grabbed his golf club and he started swinging at these two guys, right? And I remember being in the golf cart going, "What, Dad, what are you doing?" You know what I mean? He's acting crazy, you know? And I just remember it being embarrassed. I was embarrassed for my father. And I remember being just looking on the ground going, what the fuck? This is my dad, you know? It's simple things like, you know, my dad saying, if you ever marry a Vietnamese woman, you're not going to be my son. Or he would say stuff like, you know, all this rhetoric, if you're gay, you know, you're not going to be my son, you know? And as a kid, I was always on the opposing point of view of his. Going, that doesn't make any sense. I've been insensitive before. You're right. I see. If you think that I'm on the side of Koreans when they say back in the day when they were going, you touch, you buy, you know what I mean, and treating African Americans the way they did, especially walking to the liquor stores, you know what I mean, and all those like stereotypical things that black people would say. Because when I came to LA, you know, I was around, you know, there was no Asian comedian or a scene, right? When I came around LA in the 90s, you know, black dudes were the hot ticket, you know. I used to be in the OR, see Paul Mooney, Chris Tucker, Chris Rock, all these guys, and I've always wanted them to like me. I've always been saying hi to them and trying to, you know, and then when the riots and all that stuff after that, I was never on the side of the Koreans. I've always been kind of shameful of it, you know. But do I say racist things? Yes. I have. I don't believe those things that I say. I do it in within the frame of a joke, or to get a response, or to get a laugh. But is it insensitive? Yes. Am I going to change? Yes. But I do have to say, though, like when I was in Israel and we went to the Holocaust Museum, right? And we're looking at all the shoes. You know, they have this memorial there where they have the literal shoes, you know what I mean, that were gathered from Auschwitz and some of these camps. And, you know, you're bawling your eyes out, right? And then you're reading all the descriptions and all the people that died, and you read all the history of it. And you literally, when you're in the Holocaust Museum in Israel, you really, you know, want to absorb it and to see if, you know, you can. I mean, I couldn't be more empathetic. You know, I don't know what it's like. I was not there. I'm not Jewish, right? But that's the thing that I want to cling on to is that I am still willing to learn and to try to absorb, you know, and to change and have that. I know that about myself. You know, when I was on drugs all those years and I get sober right away, that's a part of me stopping, reflecting, and going, I don't want to behave like this. I want to be a better person. You know, I want to see if I can be better as a human being. So I know that about myself. I'm not perfect, and I could have done things differently, but you know, there are people in the world that refuse to learn. They refuse to walk in other people's shoes or to absorb, right? And I'm not one of those people, right? I'm not defending myself, right? But I am saying that, you know, I know this about myself, that I'm always on the side of the underdog. And you are too. But also, I don't also want to go down the road of that we're evil people and we're bad people. Because my parents, you know, they said all kinds of racist fucking shit, right? But then again, you know, I didn't walk in their shoes either. I don't know what my grandparents were like. I don't know what it was like being a kid, seeing dead bodies all over the fucking place during the Korean War, the kind of trauma that they felt, right? It's you know, but you know what? I have to say that a little bit we are getting better, even as a country, a little bit. But there is a part of me, the abortion movement, right? When men have their strong opinions about abortion, there is a part of me that I do believe this, that it has nothing to do with you. What you're creating laws, you know what I mean, that have to do with a woman's body. You're not a woman, dude. Shut the fuck up. There literally is a part of me that thinks that.
No, wait. I hope that's
What?
all
What
the
is-
part of you
what
that
is
thinks
the other-
that.
What is the other part? What is the opposition?
but I feel the same way about when white people have opinions about, you know what I mean, the black experience.
Oh, I see what
yeah,
you're
you should
saying.
lead with that.
Yeah, you should have led with that, babe.
The protests are going on as we speak. We're in a pandemic. We've been locked in this house. Especially Khalyla and I've been very, we've been following the rules and we haven't left. And
But-
we don't want to get sick, and we don't want to get other people sick. So we've really not left the house. Aside from taking the dog to the vet, but we don't go to restaurants. We don't go out. And I've been invited to people's houses for dinner. I haven't done that. And so you're talking about a group of people, little Asian people, simpletons, in a house that's been quarantined, and then now, 5 minutes from where we live right now, things are on fire, and to me, our country doesn't seem like we're in a good place,
Yeah.
and
I think that
and we need more. We should do a episode where there's more reflection, but now that we're in it, right? There's a lot of emotions going on. There's a lot of feelings. I don't know where my emotions are derived from. Mostly is from the murder of George Floyd, but there are aspects of me being quarantined for this long and also being unsure about my own personal welfare, right? So there's all these things that are mixed in with it. I'm lashing out with rage, toward people that I love. I love you, George. I really do. Look at me. Where is he?
Yes.
I love you. You know what I mean? You're a good dude. You have a good heart, and you've worked very hard in this company, and I really appreciate it. We wouldn't be where we're at without you. God, that's so difficult to say.
I know.
So difficult. And Gilbert, I also appreciate you. I don't know exactly what you do for the company, but
He does a
Play
lot.
Warzone with you.
really
I say-
good at Warzone.
I say yes.
Very good
to
at Warzone.
Everything
No,
you say.
you're a good friend of us. You sent us food the other day. Really appreciate it.
Shout out to Tom.
But everyone in this country has their own point of view, have their own life experiences. We're all very sensitive. I just feel like we're at a boiling point. We're at a point where obviously this moment in time is going to be talked about, I think, in the history books. I don't know, aside from expressing my point of view, what to do really. If you want me to donate money to a
we
group,
have.
I will.
Oh, you don't
We
know that
have.
you've donated money?
Oh yeah, we have donated money, but
I donated on
I
your
know she
behalf.
has.
I haven't.
But at this point, aside from expressing my point of view and doing what I can personally in my own life, I really, there are parts of me that feel powerless over it. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know what else to say, and I think I'm done.
Wait, hang on. Talk about your yoga experience.
Oh, you did yoga?
I want to talk about other things. I'll talk
Wait.
about the yoga
Did you do the yoga with her friend?
twice.
Oh my God! My legs
Twice?
were bleeding the next day.
I know. My shoulders and my back and my stomach and my legs.
My
You know,
butthole, too.
well, I don't know about that,
I
but
think I fucked myself. I don't know. What
yeah.
Wait, George did it too.
Yeah, but you guys did the intermediate. I did the beginning class.
Did I do intermediate?
Yeah, that was an intermediate class, Gil.
Yeah. Oh, you thought that was expert level?
Yeah,
No, that's intermediate.
dude.
I know, but I've done it
many
twice. I did
versions
it
did you
yesterday, and I did it 3 or 4 days before that. Yoga for me is I've never done it. I've always mocked it.
Yeah.
I used to walk by and just stare at yoga studio and smile and go, "That's not exercise." yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
What are you guys sleeping?
Yeah.
You guys sleeping in there? I literally didn't know much about it. And I remembered I had a friend named Mike who he was probably one of the most negative people I've ever met in my life. I always thought this guy was a piece of shit. And I didn't see him for a couple years. And then when I saw him, he looked completely different. He was very friendly, at peace with himself. And I go, what the fuck did you do? You went to the forum? Where'd you go? You know? And he goes, yoga. Changed my life. And I didn't really know what he was talking about. And in the last 2, I've only done 2. But, you know, there is something to it. I don't know exactly what it is. But number one, my body, I feel, especially after a couple of days of doing it, right? I feel looser. I feel more at calm and at peace. And even with what's going on in the world. And I told Khalyla, this is something that I want to do for the rest of my life. I really do. I love it. It's also very difficult, and it wears the fuck out of you. And it's, you know, we have it on video. You know what I mean? First of all, I farted in her face in yoga, and she hit me from behind.
Well, no,
it's like I purposely farted in your
That's
fucking
not
face.
namaste, Claude. That's not namaste.
Listen.
And on the bright side, watch Game On
CBS.
CBS at 8 p.m. It's you know.
I saw the first one. It was fun.
It's
That was
good.
a fun
It's so
show.
I've talked to comics.
My audio was kind of weird.
I've
though
talked
at the
to
beginning.
I've talked to comics.
What do you mean?
I've talked to comics.
Oh, you mean jealous comics that didn't have the same opportunity? you
No,
did?
no.
Yeah.
Comics going. It's not for me and all that kind of stuff. But
Cool.
you know, it is what it is. There is a feeling of like, you know, the world is burning to the ground, and then like if you first of all, I did this show 7 months ago.
And then Bobby as a goalie.
Right, I don't want people to think that I'm shooting this now and I'm like running around. You know what I mean?
No. This was shot
Climbing
during the
up-
protest on Saturday.
climbing a slimy wall. So watch that 8 p.m. CBS. I'm a corporate whore, and
Yum yum.
yum choco, and then thanks for listening to another
No,
episode.
hang on,
I
no.
can't do it. I'm done.
I'm
Bobby.
helpful.
I'm
Unhelpful advice. We
literally-
have to. We have to. You said
I'm
go
literally-
long.
no.
We don't have to. We're good. You wanna
I'm
say
literally
anything
done.
else?